The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, November 12th, reveal that Phyllis Summers will have some tricks in store for Sharon Newman. Since Phyllis can't get Sharon to confess, she'll resort to a risky trap and hope it'll land her rival behind bars. Sharon is getting nervous about the evidence Phyllis claims to have against her. That's apparently why Sharon decided to sneak in Phyllis' hotel suite and investigate for herself. Since we know Phyllis has a trap in mind, she'll apparently leave some bait for Sharon to take. Phyllis might have already planted something that looks incriminating in anticipation of Sharon's break-in and search. If Sharon steals this proof and gets caught with it, she could make matters worse for herself. Whatever the case, Phyllis will create a situation that leaves Sharon feeling cornered later during the week of November 11 to 15. In the meantime, Lily Winters will surprise Billy Abbott, so it's possible she'll change her mind about working together. Then again, Lily might do some negotiating with Billy and try to talk him into a less important role. Regardless, Billy and Lily's discussion may be pointless in the end. That's because Victor Newman is on the verge of locking in a major win. Victor will hope to reach an agreement with Jill Abbott on Monday's I&R episode. Jill and Victor will do their best to iron out a deal, so it sounds like she'll cave on selling Chancellor back to him. Catherine Chancellor originally left the company to Victor anyway, so he may urge Jill to see that it's what she would want. Jill may drive a hard bargain when it comes to figuring out all the details, but Victor will indeed make some updates to his empire soon enough. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jill's actions are going to infuriate Billy in the coming episodes, so we'll bring you more predictions on the family drama and his outraged reaction to her news. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Abby&Devon'S wedding on The Young and the Restless is set to be a surprise-filled event, with Victor and Nikki settling into their new digs, Jill and Ashley returning to Genoa City, and Phyllis setting a trap for Sharon. The Young and the Restless spoilers for November 11 to 15 focus on the celebration of the soap's 13,000th episode, but Abby&Devon'S wedding does not go off without a hitch. It's going to be a week filled with surprises. 13,000th episode. Abby&Devon'S takes center stage this week as I&R marks its milestone 13,000th episode. Of course, as soap fans know, no daytime wedding goes off without a hitch, and Abby&Devon'S is no different. Look for a shocking turn of events as the bride and groom try to say their I do's at the newly rebuilt Old Newman Ranch. Before that, watch for Victor and Nikki to settle into their new digs. Also for the wedding, soap fans will see some familiar faces as both Jill and Ashley return to Genoa City for the blessed event. It looks like both women are well enough for the journey. Of course, Victor and Jill have some unfinished business to settle, so this will happen before the wedding day. Before the end of the week, Jill will stand her ground with Billy. This moment comes after Lily Mangus to keep Billy on his toes. Trapped and cornered. Just because it's a wedding and the 13,000th episode next week doesn't mean that Heather's murder fades into the background. Phyllis is convinced that Sharon killed Heather and framed Daniel. No matter who asks her not to, Phyllis is going to prove it. To that end, she sets a trap for Sharon. Look for Sharon to cover her tracks the best she can. Of course, she will have a rude awakening before the week finishes, and ultimately, she finds herself backed into a corner. That could have something to do with whatever Phyllis does. At SME time, Nick makes a shocking discovery. Will it point to Sharon? Busted. Not to be left out, Jack and Diane, who have seemed to be on the outs and headed for an annulment, get busted. Did these two create an elaborate plan to try to get back at Victor? It seems so. As for Victor, it's a banner week for him. He ends up making an impressive addition to his empire. We can only conclude that it is likely Chancellor. Where will that leave Billy and Lily? Possibly out in the cold. Nikki, however, will probably be pleased. The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly update for November 11 to 15 tease the week ahead sees Jack and Diane busted. Sharon is in for a rude awakening, and Jill returns for Abby&Devon'S wedding. Tune in next week to catch all of the action in Genoa City. Weekly recap. Monday, November 4, 2024. Episode number 12,993. Phyllis gave Sharon a chilly warning at Crimson Lights, but Sharon stood her ground. Billy romanced Sally as the two grew closer. Summer caused problems for Kyle and Claire when she interrupted them as they almost consummated their relationship. Tuesday, November 5, 2024. Episode number 12,994. Nate decided to help Amy. Tracy surprised Alan by inviting him to move in with her. Billy was forced by Jill to make amends with Lily, but Lily didn't make it easy. Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Episode number 12,995. Daniel wanted justice for Heather, and he told Summer he planned to get it. Phyllis backed Sharon into a corner. Christine kept a secret. Heather was laid to rest. Thursday, November 7, 2024. Episode number 12,996. Victor pulled out all the stops to surprise Nikki ahead of revealing a newly rebuilt original Newman Ranch. Diane sent a cryptic message when she called somebody to tell them things weren't going as they'd hoped. Daniel's arrest caused issues for Summer and Chance. Friday, November 8, 2024. Episode number 12,997. Victor brought Nikki home to the Newman Ranch, leading Abby and Devon to finalize their wedding plans. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, November 11 celebrate Veterans Day by bringing home two Genoa City veterans. Ashley and Jill arrive to help celebrate Abby&Devon'S wedding. Going to the chapel. Abby and Devon are getting married. She's an Abbott and a Newman. He's a chancellor, which means the entire town will be turning out. And not just the town. Jill is jetting in from England. Guess her heart problem has been cured. Ashley is jetting in from France. Guess her split personality and complete breakdown has been cured. So Abby will have her mother there, and Devon will have the woman who stole his grandmother's husband there. And it will be festive family occasion all the way around. My home is my home. But let us not forget, none of this would be happening were it not for Victor's generosity. When Abby&Devon'S original wedding venue fell through, Victor announced that he would plan the whole thing and not tell Abby and Devon where it would be. What business was it of theirs, after all? Victor didn't even tell Nikki that he was completely rebuilding their home. Why would Victor tell Abby and Devon that's where they'd be getting married? Of course, they find out ahead of the big day, so all is well, and the wedding is sure to make a big splash. Hidden figures. Phyllis is convinced that she can keep pushing Sharon until Sharon finally confesses to killing Heather and setting up Daniel. Sharon is choosing to avoid that by leaving the room, and then by covering up her tracks even more. Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, November 11, indicate some major moments ahead as the show kicks off another week in Genoa City. Next on Young and the Restless. Two major character returns are set to take place as someone ambushes a rival and time for some pre-wedding fun. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Monday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back, ladies. My and our spoilers for Monday, November 11 revealed two major character returns are coming in the form of Ashley Abbott and Jill Abbott. The Y and R preview for November 11 to 15 shows Jack Abbott and Ashley having a conversation, as the sister relays concerns that she never thought she'd make it back to GC. Of course, Jack reassures his sister that she's safe and home. Will there be drama on the horizon for Ashley now that she's back? My and R spoilers, Jill Abbott's ambush. Speaking of Jill, Y and R spoilers for Monday, November 11 imply that she'll be awaiting Victor Newman in his office, much to his surprise. The Moustache is on a mission to take over Abbott Chancellor. However, it looks like if he wants it, he'll have to try and go through Jill first, and fans know she's a force to be reckoned with. Sounds like Jill is set to extend a warning to Victor, but will he listen? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Dabby wedding fun. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Monday remind fans that both Jill and Ashley have returned home to participate in wedding festivities. As Y&R viewers know, Devon Hamilton Winters and Abby Newman Abbott are getting hitched during the Wednesday, November 13 episode, which also happens to be the soap's 13,000th show celebration. The Y&R preview also features a scene where Devon is hanging out with Lily Winters and Nate Hastings at the GCAC, when the groom-to-be is surprised by the arrival of his bio mom, Yolanda Harmony Hamilton, and Anna Hamilton, his half-sister. While there may be some drama next week, fans can also expect some heartwarming moments too. Are you excited about Monday's show? Join the conversation below. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily to catch all the drama in Genoa City, and visit SOS for the best Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Monday, November 11, reveals that Phyllis Summers will harass Sharon Newman at Crimson Lights about running out of the funeral like a coward. Although Phyllis will push Sharon to admit her guilt, Nick Newman will pop up to shut his ex down. However, Phyllis will act like she's got proof since Sharon botched her clumsy attempt to frame Daniel. After Phyllis makes a prediction about the police showing up with questions, she'll stomp off. Cameron Kirsten will appear to Sharon and warn her to be careful about what she tells Nick. There will be some moments when Nick seems weirded out since Sharon will be distracted and looking away from him. Since Cameron will suggest Nick is starting to doubt Sharon, she'll ask if Nick thinks she's lying and that she's a murderer. Nick will assure Sharon that he believes her and question if she's still planning on pursuing a restraining order. Sharon will think it's too late for that, and will feel like she might have to tell Chance Chancellor that Phyllis could fabricate evidence against her. Nick will advise against that since it could raise red flags with the cops and give them the wrong idea. After Nick vows to try to get through to Phyllis again, Sharon will express her gratitude. As for Cameron, he'll warn Sharon that she still doesn't know whether Phyllis actually has evidence or not. Cameron won't think this Phyllis problem is going away unless Sharon makes it go away, so she'll head for the GCAC. Next on Monday's I&R episode, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will dine with Christine Blair, who'll admit that Sharon is acting like a guilty person and that she looks scared. Daniel will struggle to believe Sharon was diabolical enough to go after Heather Stevens and frame him for it. Even so, Christine won't think Daniel should dismiss the idea just because Phyllis is on this crusade against her rival. When Sharon walks in the athletic club, she'll spot Daniel sitting with Christine and take off upstairs in a hurry. After swiping a key card from the maid's cart, she'll sneak in Phyllis' suite on a mission. At Society, Phyllis will give Lauren Fenmore Baldwin updates on her theory about Sharon and how she knows in her gut that Sharon is guilty. Lauren will ultimately act like Phyllis is grasping at straws because she's desperate to clear Daniel. Nick will agree when he pops up and insists this has gone way too far, but Phyllis obviously won't seem ready to back off Sharon. At the Abbott mansion, Jack Abbott will bring Ashley Abbott home following her time in the clinic, so she'll have a happy reunion with Abby Newman Abbott, Tracy Abbott, and Alan Laurent. Ashley will hear about the original Newman ranch house being rebuilt and becoming Abby's wedding venue, so she'll head over there with her daughter. At the restored ranch home, Victor Newman and Nikki Newman will welcome Ashley back as well. While Ashley, Abby, and Nikki talk wedding details, Victor will get a text and head off to take care of something. At Newman Enterprises, Jill Abbott will insist she doesn't like to be kept waiting and will wonder what Victor wants. Although Jill knows about Victor's plan to take over Abbott Chancellor, she'll act like she can just hire Lily Winters back if Billy Abbott fails. Victor will argue that's a mistake, since Lily needs to be working with her family. After Victor talks about preserving Catherine Chancellor's legacy, he'll push Jill to strike a deal. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will keep working to get what he wants, so stay tuned to see if good news is headed his way. The Young and the Restless scoop for Monday, November 11 reveals Christine Blair will tell Daniel Romalotti not to discount his mother's theory. Also coming up, Ashley Abbott will return. Plus, Victor Newman wants to make a deal with Jill Abbott. And Nick Newman will tell Phyllis Summers to knock it off. I&R spoilers tease Ashley will admit to Jack Abbott she's a little bit nervous. "You're home now," he'll say. "I like the sound of that," she'll reply. They'll walk in and be greeted by Abby Newman and Tracy Abbott. I&R Daily Scoop. Ashley is welcomed home by her daughter and sister. Ashley will ask where Abby's going to get married. "Mom, you're not going to believe this," she'll reply. And when Ashley learns it's at the Newman Ranch, she'll be thrilled. Alan Laurent will arrive, and Ashley will thank him for all he did. "I realize you took the time to get to know my sister better," she'll say to Alan. "I'm happy for both of you." Meanwhile, Victor will meet with Jill at Newman. She'll tell him she knows he's trying to steal Chancellor from her. He'll say he's surprised someone of her stature would support someone as useless as Billy Boy Abbott. "Let's just cut to the chase. What do you want?" Jill will ask. "That's the Jill I know," he'll reply. Victor will tell her they both know her son can't cut it. "Are you willing to risk Catherine's legacy because of the pride of a mother?" he'll ask. Jill will say she's no, but she could always put Lily Winters back in charge. However, Victor will say she belongs at her family business. "So let's make a deal." At Crimson Lights, Phyllis will walk in. She'll see Sharon Newman and tell her she needs to admit her guilt. However, Sharon will say she's not guilty of anything. "I'm sure in your sick mind, you actually do believe that," Phyllis will reply, pointing out other people saw her run from the funeral reception. "Were you just being a coward and just running away like you always do?" she'll ask. Sharon will say maybe Daniel is guilty and Phyllis needs to accept it. Then she'll shout at her to leave. Nick will watch and intervene, but Phyllis will warn Sharon, once again saying she has proof. So when the police start asking questions, don't say "I didn't warn you." After Phyllis storms off, Nick will tell Sharon he'll talk to Phyllis, but she just seems so sure about it. "Be careful what you say next," Cameron Kirsten will tell Sharon. "Your boy's starting to doubt you." Nick will ask what she's looking at and snap his finger at Sharon. Young and the Restless scoop. Christine noticed how Sharon was acting. "You need to get ahead of this, Nick," she'll tell him. So he'll ask her to give him some time. Sharon will thank him and they'll embrace. "Hang in there," Nick will say. "I'll fix this." After Nick leaves, Cameron will tell Sharon the Phyllis problem isn't going away, unless you make it go away. As for Phyllis, she'll head to Society and meet up with Lauren Fenmore. She'll tell her she knows in her gut that Sharon killed Heather Stevens. Phyllis will explain her reasoning, but Lauren will say she thinks she's a scared mom who would do anything to protect her son. Sharon as the murderer doesn't make any sense. "I'm alone, I don't understand this," Phyllis will reply. "Everybody thinks she is some saint. She pushed me down a flight of stairs and left me to die. She is 100% capable of murder." Lauren will tell Phyllis she's grasping at straws. Then Nick will arrive and tell Phyllis she's gone way too far. At the GCAC, Christine will ask Daniel if he happened to notice how Sharon was acting at the funeral reception. "I thought her behavior was odd," she'll tell him. "She just seemed scared, really scared." Christine will also say Sharon was the last person to see Heather alive. Daniel will balk, reminding his lawyer his mom was harassing Sharon, but Christine will say she has a vibe about it. "Don't discount the idea that Sharon is involved," Just because you think Phyllis is on some crazy crusade, she'll add. She might actually have it right this time. Finally, Sharon will walk into the GCAC, see Daniel and Christine at their table, and sneak upstairs. She'll grab a keycard from the cleaning trolley and let herself into Phyllis' room, closing the door behind her. But what is she planning to do? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates reveal Billy Abbott could be facing a significant shift in his career. Despite his efforts to secure his position at Abbott Chancellor, the outcome may not align with his hopes. The Young and the Restless spoilers, making the best of a bad situation? If Billy ends up being pushed out or decides to leave on his own, he might just have to turn a tough situation into a positive one. Although it would be disappointing for him, it could open doors to fresh opportunities, and it would definitely spur him to action. This might even spark a new passion in him, inspiring some fresh new ideas. Considering that Billy often jumps from project to project, it seems like the right moment for him to explore something new. This is even more pertinent now that he and Sally Spectra are starting to grow closer. By&R spoilers, inspirational relationships. Sally and Billy appear to motivate one another, hinting at the potential for them to evolve into a dynamic duo as their relationship deepens. While they haven't officially labeled their connection yet, it's possible that Billy will soon ask Sally to be his girlfriend. Should Billy fully invest in Sally, he's likely to dedicate himself to supporting her professional aspirations, wanting to be her cheerleader. Abby Newman Abbott was pleasantly surprised by the wedding dress design Sally created on such short notice. This impressed Abby so much that she encouraged Sally to pursue her own path again, suggesting exciting possibilities for the future. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sally Spectra may feel a little stifled answering to Summer Newman. Sally has been hard at work on the design of the new Marchetti Z line, but she still needs to report to Summer Newman and follow her lead. Since Summer has the final say, Sally might find her creative freedom limited if she continues down this path. Perhaps Billy could step in with a proposal for a fashion brand tailored for Sally in the future. He could potentially finance her latest endeavor, allowing her to establish a brand that reflects her vision, one where she isn't beholden to Summer or anyone else. This could also provide Billy with a fresh project to dive into. He might commit to helping turn Sally's aspirations into reality, working diligently behind the scenes to manage the details. My&R spoilers. If you don't succeed at first. Sally has experienced her share of fashion failures, and her attempt at an interior design business didn't pan out either. It's understandable that she might be hesitant about Billy's proposal, particularly since blending personal and professional lives can lead to complications. However, Billy could convince Sally that they have the potential to become an unbeatable duo. As they embark on this new venture, Sally might find herself drawn to Billy in unexpected ways. Our predictions for My&R suggest that both Sally and Billy are on the brink of career revivals, so keep an eye out for developments on their potential partnership. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman just had to attend Heather Stevens' funeral despite being asked not to. As Sharon listened to Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s speech at the service, she couldn't take it anymore. As Sharon fled, Phyllis Summers cornered the killer. While Sharon got away, she could later return to tell Heather's grave how sorry she is. Will someone overhear Sharon's grave confession? Keep reading and let's discuss the possibility. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Heather Stevens' murder. My&R spoilers reveal that after Heather's body was found in the river, Genoa City was rattled. Heather was murdered, which prompted Chance Chancellor to return to the police force. Chance investigated Heather's murder and questioned Sharon. Of course, Sharon gave a cover story and told some lies. Later, Sharon planted incriminating evidence in Heather and Daniel's penthouse. That eventually led to Chance arresting Daniel. My&R spoilers, Phyllis Summers' vow. Christine Blair returned to Genoa City to defend Daniel. Christine and Phyllis never agree on anything. However, Christine told Phyllis that Daniel's best chance was reasonable doubt and to find another suspect. Then, Christine asked Phyllis about her theory regarding Sharon. Phyllis is determined to prove that Sharon killed Heather. However, this could also just make things worse for Daniel, depending on how Phyllis goes about it. The Young and the Restless Spoilers Funeral Confrontation. The Young and the Restless Spoilers reveal that Sharon was asked not to attend Heather's funeral. Sharon went anyway, but when Daniel started speaking, she couldn't take it anymore. Sharon started to run out only to be cornered by Phyllis. As Phyllis told Sharon that she was the one who caused all this pain, the killer fled. By and R spoilers. Sharon Newman's confession? Sharon's guilt is starting to get the best of her. Sharon felt some relief after confessing to Cassie Newman's gravesite. Could Sharon do something similar with Heather? Could Sharon go to Heather's grave after everyone is gone and give a sobbing apology? Could someone over Sharon's confession? If it's Phyllis, there is a chance that most people won't believe her. Summer Newman is right about there being a long, volatile history between Phyllis and Sharon. However, if someone else overhears Sharon, she could be in some real hot water. Do you think Sharon might go to Heather's gravesite after everyone is gone? Will Sharon make a graveside confession and apology to Heather? Could someone end up overhearing that confession and alert the police? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless Spoilers reveal that Adam Newman may decide to accept Victor Newman's offer and move in the old ranch house. It'll be empty now that Victor and Nikki Newman are moving in the recreated version of their original home, so Adam might as well go for it. That's especially true since Connor Newman loves the ranch and would no doubt enjoy living there. In fact, Adam might get it stuck in his head that he can be a happily reunited family there with Connor and Chelsea Lawson. Of course, Chelsea has rebuffed Adam's efforts to get back together so far, but he may keep hoping for good news. If Adam makes the old ranch house his next home, he might pull out all the stops as he tries to get Chelsea to move in. It's easy to imagine Adam taking a romantic page out of Victor's playbook, particularly after seeing the success of his dad's latest grand gesture for Nikki. This could be Adam's chance to pull off a grand gesture of his own. If Y&R actually plans on using that old set too, then Adam might decorate it with candles, giant bouquets, family photos, and more. Chelsea could get a mysterious invitation and find herself summoned to the property, where Adam could ambush her a romantic setting and a plea for their future. Adam might push Chelsea to move in along with Connor, so they can be a strong, united family again. The three of them will always be some version of that family, but Adam wants more and would love a real reunion for them all. Would Chelsea cave when faced with pressure like this or get too overwhelmed? Regardless, the show seems to be laying the groundwork for Chelsea to eventually embrace her destiny with Adam. Even Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott have accepted that Adam and Chelsea are likely meant to be with each other. It's just taking Chelsea's heart some time to get on board with that idea. The Young and the Restless Spoilers say Chelsea, Adam, and Connor may all end up living on the ranch down the road. So stick with us for more reunion predictions and updates on their next chapter. The Young and the Restless Spoilers reveal that Abby Newman Abbott and Devon Hamilton Winters are looking forward to tying the knot at the restored Newman Ranch home. It seems like the ideal place for Devon and Abby to kick off their married life together. Although Abby and Devon will throw quite a party, the mood won't be blissful the whole time. There'll definitely be some tense moments along the way for multiple wedding guests. That brings us to a new spoiler pic that the show released. It shows Nick wandering away from the gathering and looking quite uneasy over what he spots. Kyle Abbott looks rather concerned as well, so this could tie in with another photo Y&R put out of Summer Newman on an unsettling phone call. Maybe Nick will notice Summer seems upset and walk over to investigate. Nick may go into concerned dad mode and wonder what's got Summer so bent out of shape. It's possible Phyllis Summers will be the one who calls Summer, perhaps to tell her that she's backed Sharon Newman into a corner. Phyllis will set a trap to prove Sharon is guilty, but that could also lead to some chaos. Will Phyllis set off some alarm bells for Summer over the phone? Nick is obviously very intertwined with Sharon and Phyllis' feud, so it makes sense for him to realize there's trouble brewing. Summer may worry about what Phyllis has gotten herself into, but Nick may promise to handle it. Although Summer has been skeptical of Phyllis' theory about Sharon up to now, she may soon have reasons to believe her. Summer might have a bad feeling about what's going to play out. However, Nick may be poised to come running into the risky situation that's about to erupt. Sharon and Phyllis may have quite a face-off ahead of them, so stick with us for more predictions on the mayhem and updates on Nick's involvement. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Nick's wedding fun may be cut short as he takes off to deal with Phyllis and Sharon drama, so don't miss all the shocking news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week's episodes of the hit CBS soap tease The November Sweeps Bring the Heat. There's no question that the drama is ramping up on Y&R as Sweeps Month barrels right along. However, the daytime drama is also celebrating a milestone episode next week. On November 13, The Young and the Restless will air its 13,000th episode. The special episode will focus on Abby&Devon'S wedding at the newly rebuilt Newman family home. Not only does the wedding bring back a slew of familiar faces, like Ashley for the big day, but something happens that will rock the good people of Genoa City to their core. The wedding and milestone episode aren't the only things happening on Y&R next week. Jill's back with a vengeance. Finally, we get Jill back in town. And she's doing what she does best, standing her ground and shaking things up. Unfinished business with Victor is at the top of the list. The mustache better buckle up because Jill's on the warpath. Billy must face the consequences of his destructive reign at Chancellor Abbott. It's a mother and son duel over the business, especially as Lily relishes in playing games with him regarding her return to the company. Before the week is over, Billy and Victor will clash with Jill, who won't be pushed around by either of them. Hopefully, this means Jill will stick around for a while. Is Nick onto Sharon? The walls are closing in on Sharon thanks to Phyllis' determination to clear Daniel's name. In true Phyllis fashion, she sets a trap that Sharon walks right into. Nick makes a shocking discovery, and all signs point to him realizing Phyllis might be right. Nick questions Sharon. She unsuccessfully tries to cover her tracks, and he calls her on it. We all know Sharon has been backed into a corner before and wiggled her way out. Will that happen again, or will she finally come clean? Other Genoa City tidbits. Elsewhere in Genoa City, time is up for Jack and Diane. Their scheme to take down Victor and save Kyle from his clutches gets blown wide open. Speaking of Victor, he and Nikki enjoy time at the new home on the ranch. Victor also adds to his empire, which means trouble for several of his enemies, namely Jack and Billy Boy, who's ready for an extra special week of Y&R. Claire's relationship with Kyle has been heating up on The Young and the Restless. Their overnight plans were ruined by his ex-wife, Summer. She quickly figured out that Claire was with Kyle in his bedroom. Is this relationship a good thing for Claire? She just left rehab earlier this year for being manipulated by her crazed Aunt Jordan. She should focus on herself instead. Doomed from the start? Claire revealed she's never had a romantic relationship before. Her Aunt Jordan wouldn't allow her to have a life of her own. She finally embarked on a relationship with Kyle, and the two have gotten quite comfortable with each other lately. They're so comfortable that they almost ripped each other's clothes off. Summer might find a way to get in their way, but Kyle's ex is the least of his problems. His new relationship with Claire was already destined to fail. Her aunt groomed Claire for much of her life. It takes years to recover from that, and she could still be emotionally stunted because of it. The last thing Claire needs is to enter a relationship with a man seeking revenge on his parents. The best option is for Claire to enter a slow-burn romance with a man with less drama. Or she could just maintain a friendship with Kyle if that's who she really wants. She doesn't even seem like she's ready for a relationship yet. How will she handle Summer? There's also the question of how Claire will handle Summer. She seems mature, kind, and compassionate, but for how long? Does she have an ulterior motive? Claire's character has been called into question. After all, she was raised by her crazy aunt. She might have acquired some of her quirks. What are your thoughts on Claire's relationship with Kyle? Let us know in the comment section. Young and Restless ended a dramatic week with a flurry of flashbacks as Victor and Nikki were re-established in the restored Newman Ranch. Here's a look at two big stories taking us into next week, during which the iconic soap will mark its incredible 13,000th episode. Oops, she did it. The big Sharon/Heather murder mystery has begun to feel stalled for those who want to get on with the reveals. The writers are definitely slow-walking it. We even got an entire episode devoted to Heather's funeral. While I was disappointed we didn't get to see dead Heather again, the beats played were solid. It's always a good day when we get to see Michael and Lauren too. That said, Phyllis hounding Sharon is going to get old fast if it goes on much longer without some type of new development. If Red is unable to get Sharon to crack, she may have to resort to doing Chance's job for him. As we all know, she has the ability to hack into just about any system. So why not the security cameras in Daniel's building or near the river? It's mind-boggling that the Keystone Cops in Genoa City have yet to take a look at these things, presuming they exist in a complex where a billionaire lived, or to question how Heather's body was transported to the river. Wouldn't they have searched Daniel's car for forensic evidence? For that matter, wouldn't they also have confiscated Sharon's car for the same reason given she was admittedly the last person to see Heather alive? It's frustrating to watch soap murder mysteries because of the suspension of belief necessary to drag them out, but the reveals will be coming, and hopefully, there will be a significant payoff for a change. To conclude, Sharon's big mistake was in not taking into account the evidence other than the towels and phone she planted. Or her Nemesis's ability to hack, I suppose. One or both will bring her eventual downfall. Will she get a chance to confess before she's caught? Stay tuned. Wedding shocker revealed. As Young and Restless fans know by now, Abby and Devon are getting married next week, and the big event is set to take place as the show marks its 13,000th episode at the restored Newman Ranch. Given the couple are fairly low-key these days and not involved in any drama, some were sure the nuptials, although beautiful, would be a big yawn. Enter Brayton James, who teased a big shock at the wedding. This set us to speculating about what or who might interrupt the big day. More, two characters returning for Devon's wedding to Abby. There were several tantalizing theories that fans would have loved to see play out, but there's one still to share, and it's a doozy. This is where you'll want to stop reading if you want to be surprised in the moment. As it turns out, Young and Restless itself kinda spoiled the surprise with a behind-the-scenes photo that gives away a little too much detail. One detail in particular, we already knew Brittany Sarpy was back on set for the celebration, but apparently she was there for a much bigger reason as well. Asterisk spoiler alert asterisk. Our theory is that Nate's not only getting a new half-brother, but also a baby. As you can see in the group photo below, taken as the cast gathered to celebrate the soap's 13,000th episode, Sean Dominic is holding a wee tot and is standing beside none other than Brittany Sarpy, who played his character's ex-girlfriend Elena. It's a safe bet that the big wedding shocker is Elena returning with Nate's child in tow. Decide for yourself. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Audra Charles has always been secretive about her past, especially her family. Audra also once told Noah Newman that she was pregnant and had a miscarriage years ago. However, Audra was also tangled up with Tucker McCall. With Audra seemingly defending Amy Lewis keeping such a big secret, could it indicate she might have a secret love child out there as well? Keep reading and let's talk about what could happen with this storyline. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Noah Newman's discovery. Y&R spoilers reveal that when Noah came back to Genoa City, he ran into an ex-girlfriend, Audra. There was tension between the two, but a lot wasn't really explained. Just that Audra was too in her career and made some controversial decisions. At one point, Audra told Noah that when they were together, she got pregnant. However, Audra never told Noah because before she could, she had a miscarriage. It seemed to be quite painful for Audra to talk about, but then it wasn't brought up again. Y&R spoilers, Tucker McCall's passion. When Audra came to Genoa City, fans learned about her connection to Tucker McCall. Tucker had plucked Audra from university and became her mentor and boss. However, throughout Tucker and Audra's scenes since that time, they have been romantic off and on. So it's very possible that Audra was sleeping with Tucker while dating Noah. Maybe Audra didn't know who the father of the child was, and just told Noah because she hoped it was him. Of course, it's also possible that Tucker forced Audra to get rid of the child. The Young and the Restless spoilers, defending Amy Lewis' secret. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that recently, Amy came to Genoa City to see Nate Hastings. Amy told Nate she's dying from cancer and wants him to find his half-brother, a half-brother that nobody knows about. When Nate was talking to Audra about Amy's request, she warned it could be a con. Audra also seemingly defended Amy's decision to keep quiet about Damien. Audra said there could be all kinds of reasons why Amy felt it was better to keep quiet. Audra seemed uncomfortable too, so it makes me wonder if Audra had a child and had to keep it a secret as well as give the baby up. Y&R spoilers, Audra Charles' hidden anguish? In fact, I'm starting to wonder if the miscarriage was just a cover story. Maybe Audra gave the baby up for adoption. If so, depending on how many years ago it was, that child could come to Genoa City to look for their mother. That certainly would add some more complex layers to an already complicated woman. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Fans have noticed that Ashley has been getting mentioned quite a bit on recent episodes of The Young and the Restless. This has gotten fans wondering if Eileen Davidson would be returning to the show. Recently, not only has it been confirmed, but the date of her return has been revealed. Eileen Davidson will return to the show for a big event. Davidson has had quite a career in soap operas. In addition to playing Ashley on The Young and the Restless, she has also played Kristen DiMera and Susan Banks on Days of Our Lives. Outside of acting, she is also well known for appearing on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The actress originated the role of Ashley Abbott on The Young and the Restless in 1982. A few other actresses have played the part after Davidson departed in 1988. However, Davidson later returned to play the character in 1999. Notably, the character has also appeared on The Bold and the Beautiful. In one notable story from 2018, Ashley started to feel alienated in Genoa City. This spurred her to leave for Paris so she could start her own company. That said, the character has occasionally made a few return appearances on the show. However, another recent event will see her brother Jack, played by Peter Bergman, bring her home once again. Some fans think Ashley's return could lead to some drama. After all, Ashley's daughter Abby is getting married, so the character will return just in time for the wedding. In fact, the show is using the event to usher in a big milestone in addition to Ashley's return. Jack and Ashley are expected to appear in Genoa City on Monday, November 11. This will be right before the wedding. The following Wednesday, on November 13, the series will air its 13,000th episode. Some fans speculate that the soap will use Ashley's return to the show for some sort of twist. As noted by Monsters and critics, some fans think Ashley's return will impact Tracy's relationship with Alan. This is in part due to recent events on the show, causing fans to suspect that the Alan fans are watching is really his twin brother Martin posing as him. According to these fans, Ashley just might be the character to settle if Alan is an imposter or not. After all, Alan is moving into the Abbott residence. Either way, this is just one possible storyline for the character. Ashley's return could cause all sorts of drama for her family in Genoa City. Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that while Heather Stevens' murder mystery started strong, fans on social media have been getting a tad annoyed with some loopholes within the storyline. Is it time for the soap to wrap things up? The Young and the Restless spoilers. No one saw what Sharon Newman did the night of the murder. I&R spoilers remind fans that while Sharon Newman may not have been the one behind Heather's demise, she cleaned up the crime scene and dumped the lady's corpse over a bridge and into the river. Many fans have questioned why and how there's not one witness who saw Sharon do this. After all, it was nighttime when this seemingly happened, but it couldn't have been that late at night since Daniel Romalotti and Lucy Romalotti returned home from ice cream. There had to have been someone around, and dragging a limp body wrapped in a blanket isn't something that would catch a person's eye. What about being on a road with a bridge? No one drove by at all. On top of that, does the condo not have security cameras? This seems so hard to believe in this day and age. If there are no security cameras, most buildings have security guards at the entrance and have a sign-in/sign-out sheet. How did Sharon easily get through all this, not only once, but once again to plant evidence? I&R spoilers. No one is questioning Sharon's story. I&R fans may recall that Sharon went missing for a couple of days prior to Heather's death and arrived back at her Newman Ranch cottage the morning Heather went missing. While there's a ton of damaging evidence against Daniel, surely if someone came forward with suspicions against a potential suspect, wouldn't Chancellor follow up on Sharon's whereabouts and story? Even if he assumed Sharon's story was true, it still seems odd that she would visit Heather the evening of her passing, but then wait to head home until the morning. How is Nick Newman not questioning this? Do you think this storyline needs to be wrapped up? Share your thoughts below. If there's anything that we've learned about the Young and the Restless character Sally Spectra, it's that while she can be fun and feisty, she's also someone who could be cold, calculating, and even manipulative, especially when it comes to getting the things that she wants. The Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope is not a fan of this. Luckily, her portrayer, Courtney Hope, is far from that. In fact, Courtney recently sat down with Soap Opera Digest to talk about some of her favorite and not-so-favorite things. Sally Spectra is a person who doesn't like to clown around, and apparently, Courtney feels the same way. She said, "I am not a fan of clowns. They can be terrifying. I don't trust them for some reason, probably because of all the demonizing of them in cinema." When asked what is her favorite season and her favorite animal, the stunning beauty offered, "I love fall. The colors, Halloween and Thanksgiving, family, imagination and warmth, along with, I wouldn't mind having a turtle or a frog. I used to have them as a kid and I miss having them around." Now, as far as what Courtney does to get herself out of a bad mood, she said, "Turn on some good music, dance around, and get moving outside. When all else fails, take a nap." And for those wondering what is the most daredevil thing she's done in the past, Courtney said, "Whitewater rafting on level 4 rapids. That was terrifying and an adrenaline rush." The Young and the Restless news. What's next for Courtney Hope? It sounds to us like Courtney is the kind of girl who would probably hang out with Sally Spectra if it weren't for all of her drama, right? Then again, Courtney is someone that we would definitely love to hang out with too. And yes, we would say the same thing about Sally Spectra too.